Welcome to Cold Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Cold Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 5. And today we're going to talk about something that has really been life-changing for me. It's a philosophy to live by. And so it's a concept called P-A-A-R-L. P-A-A-R-L. And so the L is starting from the back. Is everybody wants the lifestyle, right? But in order to have the lifestyle, you got to have results that are happening. And so how do you get results? Well, you got to take action. So not just some action, you got to take massive action. You got to go after it. You got to go get it. But in order to take the action, sometimes you just got to have the right attitude, the right mindset toward taking that action. Because some people take action, but if you don't have the right attitude, then that action can be null and void. And so one of the things that will cause you to have the right attitude is the right philosophies. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I've learned from several philosophies from so many great businessmen and philosophers. And so I'm just going to share a couple of them today because I think these few will literally serve your life in such a way that, man, you'll be thanking me. And I'm going to be thankful to hear the success stories that come from it. So let's go if you guys are ready. So the first one is act the way you want to feel, and then you feel the way you act. And, the person that said this, he's a little country, so he said it this way: act the way you want to feel, and then you'll feel the way you act. Right? So it's funny, but, hey, that's him right out of right out of the country in Georgia. Right. So, but he was the CEO of a major company, and that philosophy right there, because see, I observe people. I'm a studier of people. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes you can not only learn from people who are successful, you could also learn from people who are not successful and what not to do, right? And so, and by the way, I'm not judging anybody if you say any of these phrases, but I hear a lot of people use these phrases, and um they I want to make sure that we continue to use the most empowering statements that will lead our life in such a great way, right? So I hear people say things like, if I say, "Hey, how you doing?" They'll say, "Oh, I can't complain." Right? Ain't gonna do nothing for me, right? Or people will say, "Oh, I'm just trying to make it," or "It's another day. Another day I'm getting it, getting by." And so like to me, that's not as empowering as when people ask me how am I doing, I may say, "Man, I'm incredible. I'm phenomenal. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. I'm excited. I'm this, I'm that. I'm excellent, right?" And people look at me funny, like, "Well, man, what you so amazing about?" And they don't have to know that, it could be the worst day of my life, right? Things are just not going right, possibly, but I'm going to affirm what I want, you know. Act the way you want to feel, and then you'll feel the way you act. That's a scripture in the Bible where it says, there's life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so if we affirm what we want, then we'll have what we want. We'll hold it in our hand. Speak those things that are not as though they were, right? And so, yeah, so that's a big philosophy for me. Also, it's not the blowing of the wind, but the set of the sail. It's not the blowing of the wind, but the set of the sail. See, the same wind is going to blow on all of us. The wind of opportunity will blow on us, but also the wind of disaster, the wind of despair. But if you set that sail, it's going in the direction that you want it to go in. Now, you may get off track sometimes because of those winds and those storms that in life that come. But because you set the sail, you don't just end up anywhere. You end up exactly where you were supposed to end up. And that's what I hope for you, my friends, is that you will set the sail, set a better sail this year than you did last year. Maybe you didn't set the sail properly last year, but you could set it exactly where it needs to be so that this year everything changes, right? So another philosophy that I live by is this is really good for those of you who are in business and you're entrepreneurs. Make up in numbers what you lack in skill. And by the way, even if you're not in business, this is still good for you because, for instance, it could work in the health arena, it could work in relationships, it can work anywhere really. But the philosophy is just basically make up in numbers what you lack in skill. So you don't have to be the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the fastest, the most articulate and the most all of this stuff, but you can outwork anybody. Sometimes you may just have to do more than others to get the same result. But if you just work your butt off and just do what you need to do, you can make some big things happen, right? And you will end up surpassing that person that maybe they have the skills, but because it's so easy for them, they tend to slack off. But not you. You coming for them, right? And you coming for them because you are willing to outwork them. So that's a philosophy that's really helped me. Another one is the ant philosophy because the ants think winter when it's summer, but they think summer when it's winter. And I'm gonna just say, when you're in your winter season, just know that trouble don't last always, right? So there's never been a double night. Joy comes in the morning. The night has to come right after night. See, after winter is spring. So guess what? Your springtime is coming. You just gotta just hold on for a little bit. And this is a time in the winter season to reflect, to plan, to prepare your next move because you're gonna come out swinging because that springtime is coming and now you have all these opportunities available for you, right? But then just also know when the summertime is here, it's not going to be here forever. So store, save, plan, prepare again, and just have that as a philosophy. The ant philosophy is such a powerful one. Another one is profits are better than wages. See, um, and the way I grew up, it was just how much in wages could I get? Can I get to $15 an hour and then up that to 25 or 30 and then keep growing that? But that's the wrong mindset. The right mindset is to have profits because see, wages will make you a living, but profits will make you a fortune. And what do I mean by that? See, listen, with profits, you can make more in a day than some people make in 2 weeks. Why? Because of the nature of profits. See, with profits, you are providing value. And when people pay you based on value, it could be so much more because you're giving so much value that you got to get in return um, in excess more than what you're giving, right? So that's powerful. The other thing that I want to share is don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And you've heard me say this over and over and over. You'll probably I may say this on every podcast because as I say, when you get better, everything around you gets better. That's what this is about. It's don't wish it was easier. See, you can't have success without challenges. You can't grow without pain. When you're working out, you gotta like break the muscles all the way down in order for you to actually gain muscle. You gotta break them down. You gotta have that pain. If you're not getting any pain, then there is no gain. So again, don't wish it was easier because let me just say this. The most successful people in the world are the biggest problem solvers. Don't run from problems, run to problems because when you can solve those problems, you become powerful. Joseph solved the problem for the king, talking about in the Bible. Joseph solved the problem. He was able to interpret the king's dreams. And because he was able to solve the problem, he became a powerful person, right? So run to the problems. How can we solve problems? Be a professional problem solver and watch things change in your life because now you just created your own value because now you can solve great problems. So those are just a few philosophies that I wanted to share with you guys that I think are so powerful. And they're so powerful because they'll help you to be a leader. They'll help you to be planted and rooted in a situation where you are not easily knocked off track, right? Because you're gonna have challenges in life, you're gonna have obstacles, but obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off the prize. So, and by the way, my mentor says that all the time, and so it just rolls off of my tongue because it's now part of who I am. So I don't pay attention to obstacles. I keep my eyes on the prize, and I want you to do the same exact thing. And the way to do that is by having these philosophies. So when the challenges happen, you have these philosophies so deeply embedded in you that it's just a part of who you are. I remember when I was single and I was in New York and I had my own apartment. I would write on these pieces of paper these philosophies, and there were more of them. But I would write these philosophies and I would actually hang them on the wall, and I would look at them. Every time I came in the room, I would look at them. When I'm in the bed, I'm just looking at these philosophies and trying to just dissect them and digest them and just get them in my heart and get them in my subconscious because I wanted to become a part of who I was. Now that I'm married and, the aesthetics of having a beautiful home, all these pieces of paper taped on the wall, they don't look good. So now I don't have them on the wall. I have them in my heart. And so I wish for you that you will have these same philosophies and that they will serve you in such a way that it's done for me. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Hey, don't forget to screenshot this episode, tag me in it on Instagram, share it with some friends and family. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on the different platforms and to subscribe so that you can hear the next episode. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you all over the top. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.